Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for joining us here today. We'll be hearing from Culpeo Minerals Managing Director, Max Tuesley, who'll be walking us through the recent announcement regarding the acquisition of the high-grade copper project, Lana Karina, which is in the Chilean copper belt. Thanks, Max. Why don't you give us a bit of an overview about this acquisition?
Yeah, thanks, Peter. Look, thanks for everyone for tuning in and having a listen to what we have to say. Culpeo's been pretty busy over the last 6 months. We listed in September 2021. We've been doing our exploration programs in Chile, and at the same time, we've managed to get our hands on this new project, Lana Karina. Obviously, as we've mentioned before, we've had the opportunity to see quite a lot of exciting and interesting copper projects becoming available in Chile. Lana Karina is by far the best one that we've seen to date, and obviously we took the opportunity to grab this project. As we believe it's quite advanced. There's some historical drilling and obviously a good opportunity there to move into resource definition fairly quickly, and obviously the end game is mine production, which we believe this project is certainly capable of providing us that opportunity. Just on the highlights of the announcement, this project has had a small amount of underground mining having taken place on the project historically. Some very good grades coming out of the underground mining, 1.5 to 2.5% copper, based on some of those historical mine reports. The project has had some historical drilling, as I mentioned. You can see some of the numbers there: 70 metres at 1.23% copper, 154 metres at 0.7% copper, 178 metres at 0.72% copper, with some considerable molybdenum associated with the copper in that particular hole, LCO2. Interestingly, some of the holes have been assayed for moly, some of the holes have not. So again, that adds to the upside. We're also expecting some silver and gold credits as well. So, you're looking at some pretty outstanding copper grades in that historical drilling, and obviously, Culpeo are prepared to drill pretty much immediately. We have a drill rig turning up today in Chile. We should be drilling by Wednesday or Thursday this week, following up some of that historical drilling and also extending the mineralisation at depth and also to the south.
Max, just on that, those grades, if they were WA or South Australian grades, that'd cause a fair bit of excitement. Why did they stop production at Lana Karina when they were getting that sort of grade?
Yeah, look, this area of Chile is quite an exciting area geologically. There's some big projects nearby. Antofagasta operate a very large copper deposit about 80 kilometres to the south. There's also a very large project that's operated by Teck closer to La Serena to the north. So it is a well-known copper producing area. Lana Karina is obviously on the medium size. Probably we're targeting 100 million tonnes size ore body. I think the previous miners really, as they have a lot of the time in Chile, they really focused on the easy to get to near surface material, didn't really have a long-term mine plan, and obviously they didn't really see that exploration upside that we've recognised. So we're very lucky to get our hands on it. I mean, I think it's a great project. Keen to pretty much drill this thing immediately. We can move on into the geology, Peter. The project is geologically quite exciting. It's a series of breccia pipes that obviously outcrop on surface. These breccia pipes are the source of that high grade underground mineralisation that was exploited historically. But underneath the breccia pipes, there is quite a significant stockwork style copper deposit. Now, it is associated with an porphyry intrusive, but it's not your typical sort of porphyry lower grade copper project. This deeper mineralisation has some significant grades associated with it. As I mentioned before, some of those historical numbers there are pretty impressive. And if we move down to the cross section through the ore body, you'll get a bit of a feel for the size of this project. So on the surface, we're looking at a sort of 200 by 300 metre dimension to those breccia pipe style deposits that are near the surface, and then below that you've got this porphyry stockwork mineralisation, which it extends to at least 500 metres below the surface. So you'll see some of those historical drilling there. You know, at 400 to 500 metres, we're still seeing those reasonably high grades, you know, 0.72% copper, 0.56% copper over some significant widths there. And obviously, as I mentioned, there will be molybdenum, gold and silver associated with that deeper mineralisation as well.
And Max, when you look at that cross-section with the little open pit at the top, this really is tip of the iceberg. That's a very, very large ore body under that small outcropping historic mining.
That's right. You know, there was a little bit of open cut mining, and as I said, there was some underground, but, you know, when you're looking at the amount of material they removed, they only removed, 1 or 2 million tonne of that higher grade. So, yeah, significant amount of the mineralisation is still there. And plus the deeper part of the ore body was never exploited at all.
All right, that looks pretty good. So let's move on to the next part. What are your plans there, Lana Karina?
Yeah, that's a great question. And as I mentioned, we've got the drill rig turning up tomorrow. By Wednesday or Thursday this week, we will be drilling. We have an initial 4,000 to 5,000 metre deep program plan. So that's approximately 8 to 10 holes. Those holes will, vary from about 300 to 400 metres in depth. We're targeting, specifically targeting the top 200 metres, the top 300 metres, looking at that, what we believe is a reasonable target for open cut mining. And we will also test some of the deeper parts of the ore body with this first round of drilling. So, over the next couple of weeks, we hope to get the first hole to the laboratory, looking at about a 4 to 6 week turnaround on those assays. So hopefully by the end of April, we should be reporting the first round of assays. And we're very confident that those first few holes will hit significant mineralisation.
And Max, just looking at this straight off the bat, those cross sections are showing pretty significant potential there in those pipes. This seems to be a pretty significant asset acquired by Culpeo. What does the acquisition of Lana Karina mean for the other projects you've got going, and how should shareholders be looking at this altogether?
Yeah, look, Lana Karina is more advanced than Patakis and Quelon, obviously, and again, that's why we were attracted to the project. We think we can move this fairly quickly into a resource definition situation, and you know, down the track, production is very much a part of what we would like to do with this project. There is, as I said, quite a lot of infrastructure nearby. There is some third-party processing plants. So Lana Karina does really offer Culpeo a chance to sort of move into that next step and become a copper producer. We're certainly not walking away from Patakis. Patakis has proved to be a very large system. We've got mineralisation over 6 kilometres of strike length. We just got the results of our geophysical surveys, which has highlighted some additional large IOCG targets there. And for Quelon, we're just finalising the modelling of some geophysics there as well. So Quelon looks like it's going to have some walk-up drill targets as well. So once we get our, you know, the drill rig stuck into Lana Karina, we will be going back to Patakis and Quelon later in the year, following up some of those geophysical targets.
So all in all, it looks like a pretty good deal for shareholders. What's the sort of payment process to complete this acquisition to the 80%?
Yeah, this is a stage sort of earn-in agreement. We do have some sort of reasonable cash payments early on in the piece as we reach certain milestones. They're not too onerous. We do have some work commitments over a 36-month period. We do have to spend $2 million, which obviously we're happy to do because we believe that the drilling results are going to be pretty spectacular and speak for themselves. So it's a fairly standard earn-in agreement. It's not a risky situation for Culpeo, given that you know, those historic results are there. So you know, we believe it was a pretty cheap earn-in into a significant project like this.
Max, in summary, it looks like it's a good value for money acquisition for the company to complement what you've got. It's in the copper belt, which has a prolific copper production profile surrounded by significant mines. This must be pretty exciting for you. And what's your summary for shareholders over the next few weeks?
Yeah, look, I'm certainly excited as a geologist. I think this is a fantastic sort of next step for Culpeo. As I mentioned, you know, moving into that resource definition very quickly, looking at sort of production opportunities going forward. I think, you know, Culpeo's really been flying under the radar for the last couple of months. And I think, you know, if people are interested in copper, if they're interested in, you know, near-term production, I think they should, you know, keep an eye on Culpeo. I think we can add a lot of value to where our, you know, where our share price is currently sitting.
All right, Maxwell, thanks for giving us the overview of this pretty exciting looking acquisition. I think there's some great times ahead for Culpeo. Thanks for everybody else joining us. And if we have any other questions to direct to Max, please pass them along to me, Peter at nwrcommunications.com.au, and I'll make sure Max gets them. Max, it's midnight in Chile, so thanks for joining us.
Thanks very much, Peter, and thanks everyone for having a listen to this you know, pretty exciting news from Culpeo.
Thank you.